Demonstrators filled Istanbul's Maltepe Dikti on Saturday in the largest protest to date against the arrest of Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu. Meanwhile, Öcalan's message echoed across Germany's Frankfurt as thousands gathered for the Kurdish diaspora's final Newroz celebration. By Sunday, at least 42 journalists in Turkey, including 10 women, spent Eid behind bars, targeted for covering political events and protests. And in other news, the autonomous administration of North and East Syria and Druze majority Suwaida have refused to follow Damascus's unrepresentational new cabinet. Learn more with Media News. Tens of thousands gathered in Istanbul's Maltepe district on Saturday in the largest protest yet against the arrest of Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu. The demonstration, led by the opposition CHP, marked 10 days of mass resistance against what protesters call a civilian coup by President Erdogan's government. CHP leader Özgür Özel addressed the crowd, accusing the government of politically motivated judicial interference. "You are witnessing a coup, a direct attack on the future of this country. This is the gravest attempt yet to eliminate the successor of Erdogan through judicial manipulation," he said. Özel then relayed İmamoğlu's own message to Erdogan. "Broadcast my trial live on TRT. I want my candidate beside me and the ballot box in front of me. There are no witnesses, no evidence, only secret testimonies inherited from FETÖ." İmamoğlu sent a message from behind bars, which was read out to the crowd. "They are trying to make the nation bow down, but they will fail. These prison bars hold no meaning for me. I have committed no crime. I stand proud of my work as mayor." His wife, Dilek İmamoğlu, also spoke. "This fight is not just for Ekrem, it is for our children and our future. These bars cannot imprison our hope." Despite restrictions and bans imposed by the Istanbul Governor's Office and a heavy police presence, the event remained peaceful. The large turnout also included thousands of demonstrators carrying pro-Kurdish Dem Party flags, refuting false claims that Kurds were not participating in the resistance. Dem posted on X, "We were there in Maltepe with the people, shoulder to shoulder, growing the struggle for democracy and freedom." The final and largest Newroz celebration of the Kurdish diaspora in Germany, held in a Frankfurt park, brought together tens of thousands of people. There were cultural performances and powerful speeches, including a message relayed from imprisoned Kurdish leader Abdullah Öcalan. For the Kurds, the event embodied unity, resistance, and hope. On the main stage, Cengiz Çiçek, MP and lawyer acting for Öcalan, addressed the crowd.
27 Şubat tarihinde Kürt halk önderi, halklar önderi Sayın Abdullah Öcalan'ın yanından geldik. Sayın Öcalan hepinize kucak dolusu sevgilerini, selamlarını iletti. Değerli arkadaşlar, Sayın Öcalan İmralı cezaevinde sizlerle şunu paylaşmamızı istedi. "Ben 52 yıldır bir maratonun içindeyim. 52 yıl önce bu maratona başladık ve bu maratonda hiçbir zaman Kürt halkının özgürlüğünden, özgür yaşamından taviz vermedik" dedi. Seyit Rıza idama giderken son sözü neyse ve Kürt halkının özgürlüğü için son nefesini verirken ne söyledilerse ben onların son sözlerinin takipçisi oldum, takipçisi olmaya devam edeceğim dedi. Şimdi bize soruyorlar. Diyorlar ki Kürtler ne yapacak? Buradan Kürtleri sınava tabi tutmak isteyenlere bir kez daha sesleniyoruz. Kürt halkı 4 parça Kürdistan'da kafası nettir. Özgürlüğü için bir aradadır. Ve Kürt halk önderi Sayın Öcalan İmralı Ada Hapishanesi'nde barış ve demokratik toplum çağrısıyla şu ilanı yaptı. Dedi ki Kürt halkı diriliş devrimini kazanmıştır. Sıra özgürlüktedir. Barış ve demokratik toplum çağrısı diriliş devrimini tamamlamış, özgürlüğü için hamle yapmış Kürt halkının yürüyüşüdür. Demokratik toplum çağrısı aynı zamanda 4 parça Kürdistan'da ve dostlarına yaşamı örgütlü kılma çağrısıdır.
One of the most warmly received speakers of the day was Ilham Ahmed, a leading figure in the Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria, AANES. Addressing the crowd with passion, she shared the following message. In the past 14 years, the peoples of Rojava have mounted great resistance. I dedicate this Newroz to the martyrs, to the leader Apo, Abdullah Öcalan, and to all those who have resisted. The Kurdish freedom struggle is interconnected. Rojava, Bakır, Başa, and Rojilat are all bound together. One cannot exist without the others. At least 42 journalists, including 10 women, are spending Eid behind bars in Turkey as authorities intensify their crackdown on the press. Press freedom groups warn of escalating repression, with journalists increasingly targeted for covering political events and protests. The Dicle Fırat and Mesopotamia Women Journalists Associations report a growing number of arrests. In late March, police raided the homes of 13 journalists, detaining 12, 7 of whom were remanded custody. The arrest targeted reporters covering protests against the government's crackdown on Istanbul municipality and the arrest of Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu. Rosa Matina, chair of the Mesopotamia Women Journalists Association, condemned the government's pressure on the media, particularly Kurdish journalists. She highlighted the case of Öznur Deyer, a journalist from Cin News, arrested in February and set to stand trial in May. The government wants journalists to retreat, to stop reporting freely, but our best response is to continue our work, to keep writing and filming, Matina said. She called for greater solidarity, warning that repression, once focused on Kurdish journalists, is now affecting the wider press. Freedom for all imprisoned journalists remains a key demand. The Kurdish-led Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria, along with several political groups and protesters in Druze-majority Suwaida, have condemned Syria's new cabinet, announced on 29 March. They argue that the 22-member cabinet fails to represent Syria's diverse ethnic and cultural groups, particularly the Kurdish community. The Syrian Democratic Council, Democratic Union Party, and Future Syria Party joined the autonomous administration in rejecting the new government, accusing it of continuing exclusionary policies. The cabinet, formed after Bashar al-Assad's removal in December, includes only one woman and no Kurdish representatives, despite prior agreements to integrate the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces into national governance. In Suwaida, protests erupted, with locals demanding a decentralized system that accurately reflects Syria's diverse populations. No government that ignores Syria's diverse voices can govern effectively, the administration stated, urging greater political inclusion. Syria's Kurds, Arabs, Druze, Alawites, and Christians have long sought equal representation. International bodies, including the United Nations and the United States, are monitoring the situation, with Washington linking sanctions relief to reforms that include broad political inclusion in Syria's governance.